they did like it was a small bit of horror, dude. When you see out the closet and all you see looking at is Max, like it looked like some like Michael Myers like little scene, dude. Like, but it was just his sister the whole time. Like, it made it seem like it was gonna be something freaky, but it was just ended up being something like normal, like your little sister would hide away from you or something. But I thought that was pretty good. It was like very simple, but I thought it was pretty cool. They included something like that. They had some small bits of like deep, like a little bit of horror.
I will say this one, just because I just thought it was so hilarious. When they approached the guy that's dressed up as a police officer, and they're like, "I lit the black flake candle. You're a virgin?" "Yeah, I'm a virgin." "Really?" "So I'll tattoo it on my forehead, all right?"
Yeah.
I thought that scene so hilarious. It was like, man, that must have been the most funniest thing to adults when like they were watching it, and now I get to enjoy this scene when I'm like an adult now.
Because the cop is like, "You guys better get out of here and take that cat with you," like all stern and like an asshole. And then his girlfriend walks out and she's like, "Who are those kids? Why were you talking to them?" And he was like, "Oh, they thought I was a real cop," or whatever.
They were just pulling my leg. Yeah. No, when they put the witches in the kiln. I think I'm saying it wrong. When she set them on fire. I was like, that's dark. I was surprised. Like, a little girl just set 3 witches on fire. Just burned them to death.
Well, I mean, they show when they get hanged in the.
Did they show just the reaction, or do they show their feet?
The feet.
They show the feet? No, I'm trying to remember.
It's like sudden, like a kind of weird edit. Obviously, they probably had to edit that down. Because I know when I was doing some research, I know during like early test screenings, they thought the film was too dark, which is why it's so like kooky. I think
it could have gone really dark.
Damn, you think we could get a deep cut from this?
They probably got Joss Whedon and then rewrite it and lighten that shit up. That's why I didn't do well in the theater.
That was like a low blow, but like a necessary low blow.
That's amazing.
Should we move to Swan Facts?
Sure. Yeah.
Good job, producer.
Swan Facts.
Alright. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to play the role of Max, but opted out for his role in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Which, I guess at the time he was offered the role of Max, he had not yet secured the other role.
Gilbert Grape?
Yeah. So he took a major leap in logic.
He's very good at picking films.
Yep.
He turned down Boogie Nights because it was the director's first film.
He was supposed to be Mark Wahlberg's character?
He turned it down because it was the director's like first film. He's like, this type of stuff should not be handled by a first-time director, especially with his career the way it was going. Very smart move, but he's also been on record saying he wished he did the film now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's
Boogie Nights is fucking.
It's amazing film.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
a masterpiece.
It's Pen 15 did that tracking shot at the pool party.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were watching, I'm like, holy fuck, that is the tracking shot of Boogie Nights. And she's like, what? She goes, oh my god, never mind. And then I'm like, they just did it at a little like middle school party.
That's what I'm saying. The deep cuts that they do in that show are so impressive.
But he was never going to do this part. I don't think he would.
No? Max?
What's Eating Gilbert Grape is such a good film. He is amazing at where you think he really has those special needs. Like it's awesome. So like I don't see him taking it, even if like it could have been an option to help them secure. Like he could go to this movie. He doesn't need your money.
Uh-huh.
It could have been one of those moves.
I'll probably regret asking you this, but what do you think about actors doing stuff like that don't obviously have that condition.
Well, I mean, the job is acting, so I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. If they're doing it respectfully. Mm-hmm. And then if you can get some... Because it's a disability to a sense. Mm-hmm. I know some people... I mean, it's fortunate they won't be able to work long hours. And so it's going to cost a lot of extra money to tell this story. You're not going to get someone... Given this time, he wasn't a big name at this point yet. You're not going to get funding for a film with a no-name actor who, unfortunately, is mentally disabled. Uh-huh. You just won't get it. Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson were the grab for Peanut Butter Falcon, and because they were there, you were able to get, I forget his name, where he was great in it. Uh-huh. So you do have those ones, but for what you're writing specifically for, which I'm assuming that, and What's Eating Gilbert Grape, the writer wrote it that way, and you needed to act this way at these times. When he's not losing his mind, but when he's having an episode, how are you going to get someone to understand that that's fake when they can't? And then if they're not, then you're going to inflict that episode on them just to get that reaction,
which is kind of immoral.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a fine line.
All right.
So yeah, I could see where there's an issue, but it's acting. They're actors. Let them play as different many parts as they want. Let them fail, because it's funny when they do. Not like in these specific roles, just in any role. When they try to hit a home run and strike out completely, it's amazing to watch. I mean, Nicolas Cage is one of the best ones that does it. Yeah, and soon Paul Dano. Just saying.
Ooh.
Not in Batman, but his career path is going to be that way. He swings for the park. He hits them, but he goes over. So it's neat. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
All right.
I think if you're going to treat it with respect, that's all you gotta do with any role. Just treat it with respect, and understand that it's not the actor saying they want to do this. I mean, obviously they want to do that part, but that story won't be told without an actor, because you're not going to get funding. Movie studios want to know that people are going to go see this movie. An independent film now costs $50 million. Why would you spend $50 million on it? No one's going to go see it. Mm-hmm. It's not like old independent films where it's a shoebox budget. That's not happening anymore. Hopefully that does pretty soon, because the technology does allow it to happen. Yeah. It can happen.
Tangerine.
Yeah, it can't happen. But again, that wasn't a box office success. Yeah. That was more success for the people involved in it to get other jobs.
Yeah.
So if it's a calling card that you're making, it can happen. But if it's a message you want to get out to the masses, you're not going to. And that's the same thing that happened with Scarlett Johansson when she was going to play the transgender role, and then she stopped because everyone hated her on it.
When was that?
It was 5 years ago, maybe. Within the past 5 years, she was going to play a transgender character, and everyone just hated on her. You're taking this role away. So she stepped out of it, and what happened to that movie? It never got made. She was the funding for that movie.
They did the same thing to her with Ghost in the Shell. Were you on that episode?
Yeah, I was on that one. I did that one. Yeah, they did, and they did well. It wasn't bad, but it's just these actors are the reason why some of these movies are getting made.
Because their interest in them is
whoever you cast for your main.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of production people ask.
Going to get some of the big names so people will come watch it, and this could have been I don't know anything about Scarlett Johansson. This could have been something close to her. Maybe she has a transgender family member or friend wanted to tell a story or represent them in a story to get the message out there, and now the message is not out there because 8% got pissed off and they're vocal about it.
They probably wanted a real transgender, dude. I don't know if that would have worked, So.
Well, no, they did, but the problem is, and they could go back because they're not casting them, but you're not going to get a real transgender with the pool of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
And they're the ones, that's what they wanted. Now, you do have a real transgender actress. You got quite a few of them now that are coming out. I only think a few of them are really good. The girl on Sense8, she's not.
Yeah.
She wasn't, and I think they made a big mistake leading on her big time in the second season. The character was great. I don't mind. Her acting was just No, that's not like who she is. It's just I think they gave her too much too quick for that show, and I just her acting turned me off. I watched it. I love that show, but that one in particular was just like, oh, why did they focus on like her? She wasn't the strongest
character
or actor, not really character, because the character was good. All those characters were good. That show couldn't exist if all 8 of those characters weren't good. Just the acting for that one was, and so it's a tough battle. What you're going to need is they're going to need to do it themselves. They need to be their version of Quentin, their version of Robert, their version of Kevin Smith. They need to make it and let it be seen, and then build their resume that way. Because unfortunately, they're not going to hand these out.
Nope.
And that's the industry. Industry is changing. I mean, they're calling out people on Me Too and stuff, but the industry is not about entertaining people. It's about making money. And that's what I think a lot of these people don't understand.
They miss the actual money making,
the business part of it. Like, you should make these movies for us. Like, well, it's not feasible for us to make it.
It's also the support of that people should give out.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of it. And it's not to be mean, but it's like my uncle told me. It's like you rarely see Latinos supporting Latino movies.
I absolutely agree with you, and I think I've said this to you before. Because Tyler Perry, he's a genius. He owns his own studio. He's very smart. Everything. Medea Butu should not have been number 1 in the movie theater. Just shouldn't have been. But they have that local support.
Yeah.
And it shows that there's a thirst for those types of movies.
Yeah.
But it's just Hispanic. I'm a half Hispanic. I don't see those movies out there.
Yeah.
And when they do come out, they don't support them.
Yeah.
Like the movie you probably grew up on, like every somewhat Hispanic household was La Bamba and Mi Familia.
Yeah.
Like those are the 2 big ones, right? Like I remember watching those, but then again, I don't remember them being huge successes either. So I think I told you, like, my idea for Blue Beetle was to, if I ever got to write it, which I doubt it because they're already working on it, and I don't have an agent, was to get a whitewashed Mexican in there, make him live with his more cultural Hispanic family he's not used to, because when he's getting educated, the audience is getting educated.
Yeah.
And it makes it a wider audience now. So, like, there's ways to do it without forcing it people's down throat.
I think the perfect series that does that is Gentified on Netflix. They really do explain somebody coming from a different aspect of the Latino community coming in to, like, prove himself that he's more Mexican than some of his coworkers. But in the same sense, it's like it builds him to realize, like, yo, this is a community.
Yeah.
Not just business. This is a community. This is how it works, you know? And that's how, like, I think people understand gentrification now more than ever because of that show.
Right.
And
And Shameless.
Well,
I know we went down a rabbit hole there, but it's all in the same subject, I believe. It's all could be lumped December, whether it's race, gender, or mental capabilities. Like, there's always those people that each one's going to have to do it themselves. Tyler Perry did it himself. He lived in a car. No one was giving him shit. He did it himself, and now he owns Georgia. The dude's amazing. He has a studio of his own. So it's like, that's how I feel about it. Like, just let them do what they want, and let's judge them on the talent and what the story is. People got all it's said about Matt Damon being in The Great Wall. First of all, it's an outsider story, so it's about an outsider coming in. The guy who directed the Beijing Olympics directed the film. Huge Chinese cast. The main lead, like female lead, is the hero. Matt Damon isn't. But everyone was so focused on Matt Damon being in the movie, they didn't even give it a shot. Yeah. They're like, you're just whitewashing this movie. Like, no, it's not. There's like maybe 2 white dudes, him and William Dafoe, and then the Mandalorian's in it as well, Pedro Pascal. So I'm just saying, like, you have to give people a chance. Don't jump down their throat. Let the movie come out and go, oh, you fucked up, after the movie, not before.
Sure.
It's true.
So that's how I feel
Shout
about it.
out
I'm
to
very
Shia
opinionated
LaBeouf.
when it comes to that. But yeah.
Shia LaFool.